welcome to Horror and Heels. I'm your host, Jen.
And I'm your host, Elicia, and I'm horrified because Jen is once again drinking White Claw. Oh, we had a conversation about this.
Hey, it's no calories, all right? That's what I'm looking for.
There's no way it's no calories because it's points on Weight Watchers. So there's
okay. It's 100. It's 100 calories.
So. Okay, you're just lying to yourself.
It's like no calories compared to.
You know what else? You know what has even less calories than that? Vodka and club soda. Like
that is true, but I can't drink the vodka club soda.
Why not?
It's not. There's no flavor in that. I can't do it.
Just squeeze a lemon in there. Buy a flavored club soda. Then you won't have that horrible kickback aftertaste.
Look, I got these for free. Oh, this doesn't have, and this doesn't have the aftertaste.
No, it does. It does. Oh. They all do.
Not
You're lying to yourself to justify your 100.
No, I said the Trulies. The Trulies. I said those have the fake sugar taste.
Those are the worst.
Yeah, those definitely taste like fake sugar. These don't have fake sugar.
She's lying.
They do have ones that have them. The 70-calorie ones. Those have the fake sugar, and those are gross.
For everyone out there, vodka's an option.
I know it's
an option. Tequila's an option. Don't be basic with the White Claw. This is, by the way, we're totally never getting a White Claw sponsorship.
That's fine. Like I said, I got.
What was it, Midori? He was.
Yeah, Midori's off the list.
I had Midori in Malibu for New Year's Eve, and it was a tasty beverage.
Okay, Midori, you're back on the list, possibly.
No, I like it with things. I just
that's right. We were talking about how we couldn't.
How are we just drinking this straight from the bottle? And I'm a woman who likes sweet stuff. So if I'm saying something's too sweet to like without cutting it, it's too sweet.
It's probably too sweet. Yeah.
So thank you everyone for. I know we missed last week. We had some personal things come up in the schedule that we needed to take care of. So we appreciate your patience on waiting for The Thing 1982.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is your first time watching it.
It was better than I thought it was going to be. Don't hate me. I was still insanely bored.
Okay. All right.
I did like that you never knew who the thing was in. I did enjoy that aspect, and I did enjoy Kurt Russell's
his locks. Oh my god!
I mean, man was working those. I just want to know, like, where in Antarctica was he getting his hair care
product? He just washes it with the same bar of soap he washes his balls with, and then it's just gorgeous because that's what men do. Meanwhile, we pay for conditioners and $50.
My husband uses a separate shampoo situation. Although he doesn't have luscious locks, as you all know, I'm in love with a handsome bald man. And so it's just for scalp maintenance.
Yeah.
He's not rocking. Although, to be fair, guys, as luscious as those locks were, they were doing nothing for my nether regions. Okay. I was not turned on at all. The one who I was in love with was the one who was in love with all the dogs. Like, he was just
Clark. Yeah.
Clark. I feel like Clark and I could have been good friends. What I found interesting about this rendition as opposed to the original one, not a bosom to be found, not a lady in sight, because by 1982, women had gotten smart and said, hell no, I'm not going to either of the
penguins. I'm not going up there. For what? With a bunch of men? Don't think so.
The penguins are cute and all. I'll see them at the local zoo. I ain't doing this.
I'm not doing it. Nope.
Very smart women. Thumbs up. You got it together by 1982. These men are still in the polls, still fucking around.
Trying it. It's funny, though. They actually had cast a woman, and she ended up getting pregnant, as women do, and couldn't finish filming, so they had to recast her, which I thought was pretty interesting.
Well, I watch MTV's The Challenge, and so I was watching last week's episode this morning, and I had already seen. So TJ Lavin is like, I'm so sorry, you've no longer been cleared to compete. Like, we have to send you home. But obviously it was so early in her pregnancy, like, he couldn't say why, she didn't say why. She's just like, I have personal family matters at home to attend to. But that was once again the pregnancy. But I looked it up. A shit ton of women have competed in the Olympics. I'm not talking Summer Olympics. I'm not talking just swimming in a pool. One woman did like the luge while pregnant.
Dude,
It's like somebody figure skating while pregnant. I'm like,
one of my teammates would play flag football pregnant, like for her good first 4 months, and she was a beast too.
Flag football it's like a lot of running, but you don't get, if you're playing with people, you know, the chances of you getting slammed to the ground as opposed to a luge flipping over.
Well, I mean, the luge can flip over, yes, but no, in flag football, there have been so many injuries. People do not care if they know you; they will break your leg and then be friends with you after. So it's
flag football.
There have been people break ankles, they tear ACLs. What?
You bitches are fierce.
Well, it's co-ed, so we are also playing. So it's a lot.
That's too much for me. I'm too old for all that. I'm fine saying I'm too old for all of that.
Hey, I don't play on that level.
Like, do you? I'm not athletic enough for none of this. Like, when I was pregnant, all I wanted to do was eat my foodies and have my husband make me tubs of Epsom salt water to soak my giant platypus. I mean, these things got huge towards the ends, guys. Like, we went to a party and it was a very hot day and we had to leave the party early because I was just swelling. Like, you could just literally see everything just expanding. No. And we went home and he put me in a cold, like, foot tub of Epsom salt, and it really helps. But he looked at me and he's like, I love you, but those are gross. It just looked like you could barely see my toes. It was just, it was not good.
You look like the guy from Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah.
His feet.
So speaking of Kurt Russell, yeah. So now you love this movie.
I do. It's
a lot of people in our Shudder horror fans have been talking about. I loved the special effects.
You're saying you did?
I did.
Yes, right?
Especially for 1982, they were fantastic. They were gross. Once again, men, after the first autopsy went awry, perhaps we stop and I'm sorry, you're cutting open this creature that looks
what?
Weird.
For what? What are you looking for? What are you going to find in there?
Not even that. But you take out what you say are normal organs. Now, I've never cut up the human body. I'm just going to take your word for it. So now if you're looking at that creature and you're saying to yourself, well, these are very normal looking organs. No pause. No pause at all. That was Mr. Walter Brimley, by the way. Loved it. I love Mr. Walter Brimley.
Well, what else is he in?
Oh, okay. Let me educate you.
Educate me. Oh, with that budget for this movie, by the way, was $15 million.
Well spent.
Right, every dollar.
And I'm looking it up because I'm so afraid I'm going to say the wrong old-timey show. He's the one who does the diabetes commercial.
Yes. Okay, yes. That's what every time I hear it, I think that's him, but then I think I'm wrong.
Our House, and I'm sorry. Okay, I was going to say the wrong old-timey show. That's why I looked it up. The Waltons.
Yes, okay.
Was his first one. Then Our House was like his second. Oh, and apparently he was in the show How the West Was Won. And then he was in Cocoon, The Thing, The Natural, Cocoon. The Firm, Hard Target, The China Syndrome, but
that is him. Yeah, every time I hear him, I think it's him, and then I thought for some reason I looked it up and it wasn't him.
Yeah, he's been just a lot of stuff. So, but he is the diabetes.
Diabetes.
Yeah. So,
and then the other doctor with his nose ring. I was like, sir.
Yeah, I'm like, what was happening?
Sir, what are you doing?
So here's the thing. Okay, let's talk about this. So first of all, we don't get any real reasoning as to why they're in Australia. I mean, Antarctica. Now, I know we had a lot of talkie in the first movie that I bitched about. I could have used just an inch more talkie in this second movie. Could somebody explain?
They found no balance for you.
No balance. Who are any of you? I know who the two doctors are. The rest of you, except for roller skate dude, seem to be the cook.
Yeah.
because he was screaming about underwears in his kitchen. He keeps a clean kitchen. I don't know what the rest of you do. I don't know who the rest of you are. I don't know why I care if you're getting got. So the first movie spent way too much time building everything up. To the
whole
point
movie
where
was
I'm
building
like,
things up.
okay, like you really felt like you knew the characters. In this movie, I did appreciate that they got to the action. I mean, immediately we've got some psycho in a helicopter shooting at a dog, which you don't realize why until way later in the movie, which I did like.
Yeah.
But could I just have a little something? Even on the side, just tell me what you're researching on the side.
Say what it's about. Nope. John Carpenter was like, F that noise. They're out there because it's science and it's cold. There.
Science and cold. That's all we needed to know. I didn't even see a penguin waddle by. What are we researching?
Nope. And I looked through all the IMDb trivia and there's no definitive answer. There's no definitive answer as to why they're out there.
Science and it's cold. So
yep. And it's funny you say you liked the special effects because at the time it got horrible ratings when it came out in 1982. Like,
really?
Critics just slammed it. It could have been.
Did Roger Ebert slam it though? Because they slammed everything.
I think they were opposites. Whichever one usually would have liked it didn't like it, and the other one liked it. So they were, one liked it, one didn't, and it was not what you would expect. I can't remember which was which.
I just know that they're cruel to the horror genre.
I mean, actual movie critics, like, really? Come on. Yeah. They always think they know cinema.
I really thought, I read how they did the logo, and they mounted a plastic bag. That was so cool.
Over the tank.
Yeah. These people love a flamethrower.
They had like two of them.
Why did we have? I have no reason why you have flamethrowers. I have no reason why you have flamethrowers.
I read, and it could be because they're in the snow, and you might have to thaw something out. Like if it snows or something gets frozen, then you have to thaw it out. Thaw it out with a flamethrower. That's the fastest way.
I'll take it as an answer. I don't love it.
That's fine. I understand. These are all things that I just read about. So
at least in the first movie, like the military goes, we understand why there's a shit ton of weaponry. Here, we're just pulling weaponry out of everything out of science base. Like, I didn't know. Like,
apparently for good reason. Apparently that was not a bad choice.
Are all scientists or any of the military? I have no clue what they are. I just have names and a dude in roller skates.
We got doctors. We got McCready.
We got two doctors. And then many other men who I couldn't keep hide nor hair of. And then dude with glasses that they all wanted him to get in touch with anybody. And he's like, we're in
Windows.
What?
Windows. That was his name. Windows was the radio guy. Yeah.
Okay. If you say so, I take, please. The poor guy, he's like, dudes, I'm telling you, there's no one out there. Like, we're in the middle of nowhere. No, I have to say, I do like being in Antarctica as a concept, because a lot of times when you're in a movie that's, they're out in the woods, they're so far away from people.
Yeah.
No, people can, but this is Antarctica.
Yeah, like they're really,
no one's coming. The penguins ain't helping you. Like, you are really desolate. Like,
the nearest camp was an hour helicopter ride away.
Yes. And the doctor, when he started going crazy, well, he was the thing. He was the main thing. There was a couple of them, but he was numero uno. So that happens.
First of all, I like when they get the dog starts morphing and he can hear it. Kurt Russell McReady can hear the noises coming from the other room. His natural instinct is to go set the alarm off. I was like, he hasn't seen anything. All he heard was some noises he's never heard before, and he went straight to the fire alarm and set it off to alert everybody. I was like, see, he can be on my team, because he didn't even.
He's ready.
Yeah, he's ready to go.
But just a little backstory. What had he seen before in his life that had prepared him for that moment?
Right. Well, okay, so I read about this too. You have all the questions that I've read answers to. That's very interesting. He apparently was like an old war helicopter pilot, and they had more of that on the cutting room floor where like they explain his background and like
Oh, they just cut that. We didn't need
yeah,
to know.
yeah.
Gotcha.
He's seen some stuff.
I mean,
So
I understood that he was the pilot, but
yeah,
in what capacity was never made clear.
yeah, yeah.
So, because listen, we got some millionaires out there that just enjoy being pilots at this point and think it's fun. So, I mean, once again, I just needed a little more. Like if Walter Brimley's character had said when they were investigating the Netherlands compound down in Australia, Antarctica, hey, did you ever see anything this crazy while you were flying choppers in the military?
Yeah, something.
That's all I would have needed. But I did not get that.
Oh. But it's but you got action.
So much action.
To start with, yes. Instead of 30 minutes of
and the most
character
beautiful dog
development.
ever, and immediately I go, oh shit, something's gonna happen to that dog.
I was like,
So
I was like, oh no. I was like, this is not gonna go well for Elicia.
And then they put it in a pen with more beautiful dogs, and I'm like, oh god.
Yeah.
All the dogs are getting got.
Yeah. That one was like biting at the fence though. He was hardcore.
He was ready.
He was like, I need to get out of here.
Yeah.
Something ain't right.
Oh.
And then the spaghetti from the dog. Ooh, like it's so crazy. Like it's still scary because of the.
Okay, I'm back.
It's still scary because of the special effects, like the practical effects. Just do it. Which again, back then they said it looked too fake, and I'm like, wow, if you saw CGI, you would know that that actually looks way better than what we've got now.
Yeah. It was creepy.
Yeah,
things
right.
Are oozing. Things are
eyeballs in places.
Things are bursting out of body parts. At one point, a man's stomach becomes teeth, people, and is cutting off hands. Now, also though, you've seen everything that happened so far. Why did you think going and like mounting and touching that man was a good idea?
I wouldn't have personally.
No.
That part creeps me out every time. And then his head first, then he becomes that thing that grows up to the ceiling. Then his head detaches and becomes a little walker thing.
Oh, no.
That scene is
not having it.
It was great though. It's so great. And then the comedy that he puts in it is awesome too. Like there's so many funny moments where you're still scared, but it's like, oh, that's actually kind of funny. Like when he's like, "You gotta be fucking kidding me." They said
everything's oozing. Why is there so much oozing? Oh, so bad. I feel like the action moved, especially once they figured out that the thing could be in any one of them.
Yeah.
I liked how they were trying to figure it out the whole time. I thought that was interesting. They were getting better at burning things. But then the doctor goes super crazy. Like,
oh yeah. That's why you don't, it's like, is he the thing at that point? Because if he is, then why is he destroying stuff?
Right.
So I don't, still unknown, and you still don't even know when everybody gets got. Like,
right.
I've watched it like so many times, and I still never know.
I like that.
Yeah. And John Carpenter intentionally made, when the dog is walking down the hall, and then you see him go into someone's room. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah.
But you do, and you see their shadow. He made it none of the cast, none of the actual people.
Take a 10-minute break was inventive.
Yes, I like that scene. I don't understand why anyone gets offended that we're doing this test. Like, yes, please, test. Let's do tests.
Well, I mean, obviously the person coming back, like, who's protesting is the person that's the thing.
No, like, well, like, a lot of people had an attitude about it. Keith David had an attitude about it. The guy who had the key to the blood he wasn't one. He had an attitude about it. But I'd be like, yes, I would like to test everyone, test me included. Please.
True. Listen, I think at that point we're in such a high pressure situation. Listen, I get an attitude if I get a little hangry. There's a creature wandering amongst us. We're locked in the Arctic. I ain't got no way out. It's gonna get cold. And I've just done the math that in 3 years, a little more than 3 years, the entire population will be infected with this thing if we let it get out. I'm gonna be a little cranky.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then only the doctor knew that though. He didn't tell anybody, did he? Did he tell anybody that? I don't
I
think so.
thought they found his research books.
I
They
just
went
remember
and
seeing
took his research books.
Oh. I've seen this movie so many times, and there's always still things that I did not notice because there's so much going on.
TJ was sitting with me watching it for a while.
Did he make it through any of the scary parts?
Oh, yeah.
He was fine.
Yeah, he's fine.
He's a champ. I love it.
He loved the big claws. He was like, ooh.
That's awesome.
Then when he saw the dog as a normal dog, he kept going, doggy. I'm like, yeah, that doggy's going to get God soon, kid. Don't get attached.
Don't get attached.
Ugh.
Leave your feelings at the door. Clark was an idiot. Clark was stupid though. Like, why would you run up on him with a gun in his hand?
Right.
Tensions are high. And I love when they try to make him feel bad. They're like, "Oh, so you're a murderer," and he was like, "Next."
Yeah.
It's like, I don't care. He ran up on me. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Then McCready's character starts losing his damn mind, walking around with flames and
Flamethrower.
everything. Anybody comes near me, I'm gonna kill you. I mean, he's losing it quick.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that's a little PTSD that we don't really get a backstory. Once again, zero backstory. These people were just dropped out of existence right here.
Dropped here. They were born here, born as grown men. With their jobs.
But I have to say that I just really, I liked the remoteness.
Yeah, that real feeling of there's nobody here that can help us.
Right.
And not even like there's help on the way. It's like they hadn't even been able to reach anybody in 2 weeks.
Because at least in the first movie, the Air Force base, like they had been getting in touch with people the whole time. So it just didn't have that same feeling. Like I felt like help could truly just come for them. I mean, it would take a little bit, but they were still able to notify people. So it made it just a little bit less dramatic. Like they were sending reports back and stuff of what they were finding. So that's a little less scary to me.
Yep, definitely.
Which was your favorite special effect moment?
Oh. Favorite is probably the teeth in the chest.
Okay.
Scariest, the part that still really freaks me out is when the guy is in the chair and he starts bubbling up after they tested his blood.
Oh, yeah.
Turns the thing, and then like he snatches windows and just holds him upright. Like that whole scene scares me every time. Like that's so not okay. And he's kind of still alive.
We should not be like, roping people up together. Like
can we get
we
individual
can do the test, but we cannot be like,
stuck
at least one of you is a potential killer. Let's not rope everybody with the potential killer. That
on
just
one
doesn't
bench. Yeah.
On one bench. That's like just poor planning. Okay, people? No other way to say it. Just not great planning.
As Windows will testify. Well, he can't because he had to be burned.
He can. He's done.
He was also stupid for just standing there. Like, this is the thing. And he just let it open its head and then just kind of stood there watching. I'm like, what part of you would let you stand there? There's no part of me that would allow me to stand there even if I wanted to.
He was paralyzed with fear.
Nope.
You hear tales of people who have gotten bitten by sharks, and some of them have said, I saw it and I was so paralyzed with fear I could not move until the bite happened, and then that's when my adrenaline kicked in.
Oh. I don't want to experience it. I'm fine, but I'm just saying. So what was yours?
I think I loved the dog. Like that change, only because like I think maybe if I watched it more, one of them would become my more favorite.
Yeah.
But because that was literally my first encounter with the shifting and the changing, I think that was the coolest to me. And the thing, like, just open.
Yeah, it's intense. And I've watched it.
Eat before filming this, because if I had to talk about this and think about the goat, there was so. I just want to know, did you look it up? I didn't. How much of that 15 million was spent on the goo?
Oh yeah, no, they didn't say specifically.
Not fully formed Jello. What was it? I mean, it was great. It was gross. It was fantastic.
It was disgusting. They don't say how much was spent on that specifically, just the $15 million budget, which was the most that had been spent on a horror movie up to that point. I think they said Halloween was like $375, and then there was another one that they mentioned, but I couldn't remember. But this was the highest budgeted horror movie at the time, and the studio almost didn't want to do it.
Well, to be fair, I mean, Halloween, and it's fantastically done.
Oh yeah, but they didn't.
Part of the reason it's fantastic is it didn't need
the simplicity.
Like, to me, I would put this in the sci-fi horror genre.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Along the lines of Aliens and everything. So, like, that's what you would say about Jurassic Park too, like sci-fi horror.
Yeah, I would say I don't even know if I would count Jurassic Park as horror. I love Jurassic Park. Now, if James Cameron had done it, which he was supposed to, then it probably would have been more of a horror movie.
Jen.
What?
A man gets eaten while taking a shit. There's nothing more horrific.
That does not hit my minimum for a horror movie. That was like, and the way they showed it, that was like kitties. That was like
Newman. Poor Newman.
What? Oh yeah, none of those deaths were that gory. Like, you don't even see Samuel L. Jackson get got. Like, you just see his arm. Like, there's nothing particularly gory to me. Not that it has to be gore, actually, even for horror. There's just nothing that made it. I was going to
say, my favorite horror movie, I mean, one of them is, oh, help me here. Rosemary's Baby. You see absolutely, I mean, there is zero gore.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. You don't have to have gore for it to be a horror movie. It's just, you mentioned him getting eaten, and I'm like, well, that's the.
I'm very scared of getting got while I'm shitting. Get got, I want to be fully clothed. Okay.
That is a very.
If anybody's listening and they have any ideas of killing me, please just make sure I'm fully clothed. Okay. I just don't want to be found like that.
Otherwise, she'll haunt your ass.
I will. Oh, I will. I've already got a list going. Don't get on it. Can't wait to haunt some people.
So overall, did you like? I mean, we're not done with it, but I just want to know overall. Would you watch it again? That's what I wanted to know.
I don't know. I wouldn't say. I'm definitely not saying no.
Yeah.
I'm definitely, like, if we did a watch party or something, like the group, totally down to do that. There's just so much on my list to watch that.
Oh yeah. No, I just meant like if it came on, or like.
If it came on, I'm definitely not turning it on.
Yeah.
I just don't know if it's something I would put back on my roster, because the list is getting longer as the days go on. See, here's the problem, people. Don't join book and movie groups unless you just want your to be read and to be watched
never
end. Like, my book pile is so large, and now I'm in book paralysis because I did like a book swap, and my swap partner was amazing, and he sent so much good stuff.
Oh, nice.
And 2 of the books in the box I knew I wanted to read. One was Stephen King's If It Bleeds. The other one was Paul Tremblay's Head Full of Ghosts, which hopefully the movie comes out this year. It had gotten pushed back due to COVID, so fingers crossed that they finish it up this year and it releases. That's a very cool book in which you are not sure if the girl is possessed. if she has schizophrenia or if she's just making the whole thing up, which I think is awesome.
Nice.
I enjoy books and movies where even at the end you're not really sure.
Well, like this one, like
Yeah.
you don't know.
Like we just end. They're drinking whiskey. By the way, these people carried their bottle of JB everywhere with them, and
everywhere.
I support it. I support you.
We're here for that.
Please, yes, do that.
We are here for that.
I'm here for it. But so my husband and I, he had come out to have lunch while, because he works from home right now due to the pandemic, and the two of us were just like, so I see him pan away from the two guys and the fire's going. I'm like, that's not how it's gonna end. And all of a sudden, directed by Carpenter, like, oh, well, I was wrong. And I like it because it leaves it open. Like, you don't know, is one of those two guys now infected? And now, because we don't know where that other guy was. Like,
he's out of sight.
Cockamamie story, but you don't know. And stuff, and now all the ice is burning, and I'm just not sure what these two are gonna do. They can't get out, like,
yeah.
So now, so here's the thing: even if these two men are okay, they now only have each other and have to bunker down till spring. They mentioned spring 1,000 times. That's when the safety group is coming.
Yeah.
With just the two of them.
And mind you, in the beginning, Kurt Russell says the first week of winter.
Right.
So
yes, he did.
So they have a while to go.
A long while.
Yeah, and there's nobody coming. God. And usually those kind of endings, I'm like, but that one has never bothered me. I'm always like, that's a good place to end, because there's no way to, like.
Yeah, there's nowhere else to go. No, I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Now, spoilers for The Thing. Just gonna say that we're gonna branch to the 2011. I just have a question or two for Jen, but they will be spoilery questions. So if you haven't seen it,
turn it off. If you haven't seen it, turn it off.
Turn it off. You said this is technically a prequel we will be watching.
Yes, which I'm very sad that I spoiled that for you, because
Oh, is that not something that's known?
It is now, but the experience of going to the theater, like the way it's marked.
Would I have known that because you know me, I read before I watch.
Yeah, if you researched it, you probably would. So you wouldn't.
Because you told me you would, because I read the whole synopsis before I watched this.
Okay, yeah, then you probably would have found out.
Because I find it because we're talking about it, I do find it a little easier for me to follow along if I kind of have a general idea of what I want to be looking for to discuss.
Got it.
Also because I just needed. I know you said it was John Carpenter and it was better, but I was in such a foul mood when I woke up this morning, that I was just like, oh my God, I need to find out if this is actually better or if I'm going to kill Jen if she wastes another hour and 48 minutes. But honestly, this movie could have used, like I said, the last movie needed less time.
Yeah.
This one needed a little bit more time. I needed to know who McCready was.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Yeah.
Like I said, just one little sentence would have helped the bitch out. Okay. They could have thrown that into a conversation at any
point. He could have, but he was like, that's fine. He was like, we're just gonna go into it. Well, but but actually, again, the editing floor, because I if I read correctly, it was in there, and they just ended up editing it out. For what reason, I do not know.
By the way, these are very cozy looking pajamas you're wearing, Jen.
Oh, thanks. I got them for Christmas time.
But Jen, you were literally at the beach yesterday. Explain beach to flannel to me.
Well, it's not real. This is like LA flannel. It's not like.
Oh, it just looks like flannel?
Yeah, it's not like super hot. Nothing.
It's like cotton.
Yeah.
Flannel.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it's cold here at night.
No, to really twist the knife into her East Coast co-host, she literally was posting pictures of herself at the beach yesterday as I was literally freezing while moving furniture.
Yeah, but then I also pay ridiculous costs of living, so I'm like,
Long Island, join the club.
I need to enjoy this beach life while I can. I don't take advantage of it enough, so I was like, my friends are like, we're going to the beach. I was like, okay.
I went like 1 or 2 times this summer because one beach I did feel safe at. The other beach I did not feel safe at, COVID wise. So I was like, these people, some people are acting like plague rats, and I was not about it. Like, like they weren't following the rules about like wearing your mask like while you were walking to like the concession stands and bathrooms and stuff. And I was just like,
yeah,
it's a little too much for me.
Yeah.
But
what was I gonna say? I forgot. Oh, you were asking me about the.
It's a prequel.
So back when it went in 2011, it was marketed, and they called it The Thing. So it was marketed and intended to seem like a remake.
Okay.
So when we go to the theater and we're watching, we're thinking, okay, this is a remake, and then when you realize it's not, you're like, what the heck? Like it was very well done, and that's a spoiler that I hate. People seem to think that it's cool to tell people it's a prequel, and I'm like, no, you do not tell them that. Like if they haven't seen it.
Well, I saw that fight. Well, not fight, but I saw that
the
let's call it a discussion.
Yes.
In our group, and I was just like, I did see both of your points because I mean we're going on 9 years now.
Yes.
So like, and it seems like it's something that is fairly widely known at this point.
But it's only known to people who have seen it. Some people don't even realize that there was. So if they know nothing about it, then they haven't seen anything about it. Because some people are like, oh, I didn't even know there was a 2011 version. So it's like they obviously.
Right, but at this point, it's like if you tell the person, spoilers for Saw. If you tell the people that the dude in the corner is the killer the whole time, it's been 20 years. Like
I would never do that. If you haven't seen the movie, I don't care if you're talking about Psycho. I would never say.
Well, what I'm saying is, if somebody specifically tells me they haven't seen the movie, I'm not going to say anything. But I'm not going to feel guilty if in a conversation. What I'm saying, no, if somebody's like, oh, I've never seen Saw, certainly not going to tell it.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, if in just general conversations about movies, something comes up about a movie that is more than 3 years old, honestly, I don't feel bad.
Oh, well, yeah, if it just happens to slip or we're just talking about things.
I'm not feeling bad. Like, you had plenty of time if it was something you truly cared about seeing.
Yeah. But this is people posting it and like putting it
my way to say it to somebody. I'm just saying, like, there are people who are like, oh my God, I can't believe you spoiled that for me. And I'm like, but that movie's 22 years old. If you really cared, you like you would have seen it by now. So clearly it's not a movie that interests you enough to see it that like
well, I don't know. Like
I feel like, okay, so I haven't seen Hereditary yet.
Yeah.
If in normal conversation things about Hereditary come up, like I'm not going to be angry at anyone because like I've had plenty of time. If I truly wanted to, I would have gotten on it by now.
Yeah, well, if that's the case, then I would leave the conversation. No, like if you're like, I would leave the conversation. If you know the movie's coming up in conversation, and you say, "Hey, I haven't seen it," you dismiss yourself from the conversation. Right. I hate spoilers, and I don't care how old the movie is, or like for me, I'd never seen What Happened to Baby Jane. I was very interested in seeing it. I just hadn't got, like we said, the long list of movies that you got to see. I rewatch a lot of movies because I just need something on, but sometimes they're just movies that I do want to see that I just don't get around to. So thankfully that never. Yes.
The movie is 60 years old.
I know.
I'm just saying. The whole cast is dead. Spoiler alert. Yes.
I said even if it were Psycho, I wouldn't. I do not like spoilers. That's one of my biggest pet peeves. So I just wouldn't say anything to someone.
I'm just saying sometimes it happens and you can't feel bad if something's been out for a long time.
Right,
I'm not
right.
saying
No, that
being a jerk, just blurting out spoilers to things all the time.
yeah.
I'm just saying, like, you also can't really hold people responsible.
Right.
Like, listen, if you've never seen Star Wars and somebody makes a Luke, I am your father joke around you, like, that's on you.
Right, that's unavoidable. That's when I'm talking about people like posting, "Oh, I'm watching The Thing 2011. It's a great prequel." I'm like, "Oh, well, now you've actually given that spoiler out in the caption." Whereas if they hadn't seen it and then they just were not going to read the comments,
Right.
it's fine if it's like in the comments, because you shouldn't be in the comments of a movie that you haven't seen yet.
Right. Like, somebody said that when I had put up about Midsommar. I was like, "Oh, at what point in the movie would you have noped out?"
Yeah, the
And
bear.
I wrote spoiler alert, and then what my nope out moment was.
Yeah.
And somebody in the comments was like, "Wow, a lot of spoilers in this comments. Some people haven't seen the movie." Then why are you reading?
You shouldn't be in the comments. That's
about
your
the
fault.
movie you haven't seen. Like, they posted the comment. Somebody saw The Thing. They said how much they loved it. I didn't read anything because I was watching it this week.
Yeah.
Although part of me really, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I wanted to Cliff Notes the shit out of this movie, not even watch it, just read those comments and steal them as my own. Sorry, Shutter Horror Fans group.
But
I didn't.
Look at what you would have missed.
God, did I want to. God, did I want to. I've just been so lazy these past 2 weeks. Really a testament of Will's to how lazy I've been.
But it was worth it.
But not really, because like Ed and I moved like 3 new pieces of furniture into the house. My house is clean. All my laundry is done.
Oh,
like,
that sounds nice.
So like, I keep thinking I've been lazy, but like,
you're exhausted because you've been doing stuff. That's what that is.
But yeah. Okay, once again, we're going to be spoiling Thing 2011 for a few more minutes. So is any of the original cast in it?
No.
Okay.
No.
So I still get no answers as to why these people are here. Will I get any answers?
I think 2011 has the balance that you're looking for, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
I could be totally wrong, but I think it has more explanation.
And what is that on? Thankfully,
I believe that's on HBO Max. Last time I watched it was HBO Max. Oh, I keep wanting to talk about it. I'm like, no, I'll save it for next week. But this was one of my favorite movie experiences, just because of the whole prequel thing and not knowing. It was fun.
By the way, in that whole chat thing, you were like, "Yeah, I told my friend and she didn't know." I was the friend. Why didn't you call me your co-host or wife? This was very upsetting.
Because I didn't want to call you out and say that.
Oh, you didn't want people knowing it was me? No, you could have told them it was me. You know me. I don't care. Too many people trying to steal you from me too. Oh yeah, HBO Max.
Yes.
Oh, that's good. I do see from the cover art, he's got the weird hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like basically the original cover art. It's the same.
Yeah. I'm trying to see who's in this.
John Carpenter said he wanted to get away from the alien being a man in a suit. And he was like, when he saw the cover art, he was like, well, it's a man in a suit. Awesome. But it works. Because I like the hand detail, where it looks like it's a regular man, but when you look at the hand, you're like, oh no. And they also did the
I don't think I know who any.
You know Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
You say this, and you think I do, but
she's in Final Destination 3.
Never saw it. Okay. Hold on to your seats, everyone. Elicia has seen none of the Final Destinations.
Oh my gosh.
But you are right, it is 3.
Yes.
Alright, so to be fair, she has been in not a single
Sky High.
No, she's been in a lot of great
Scott
stuff.
Pilgrim. No, I'm asking, you've seen none of these?
Oh, she was in Black Christmas 2006. Who was she?
There you go. She was the one that got killed in the car with
Oh yeah. Okay.
her name, Martin.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I gotta be honest, that's the only movie she's been in that I've seen.
Wow.
This poor girl.
No, she's awesome. You poor girl.
Yeah, no, that's who I meant, me.
Oh.
I don't know. Listen, oh God. I
Die
know.
high.
I know. I never wanted to admit to you that I've never seen any of
Ooh,
them.
that is rough. That is rough.
Oh, she's in a movie
Scott
called
Pilgrim.
ACOD. And it's got, as we all know, my favorite man, Adam Scott. Oh, and I love Catherine O'Hara. Oh, and I love Jane Lynch. Oh, I might watch this movie. I don't even know what it's about. I don't care. Oh, it's got Clark Duke. Oh, I'm totally watching
Oh,
this.
it's got everybody in it.
It's got Adam Paley. Oh, yeah, bring on that. Speaking of Adam Paley, is that show coming back?
What are you talking about?
Embedded. Season 2. No, season 2. Ah, damn it.
The one thing that they did reference to the original in this 80s one was him them setting him on fire, which they did a much better job of setting the thing on fire.
They pulled down the whole building. Fantastic.
They focused the flame to the guy, but he did that whole crashing through the wall thing. Did you notice that? It was pretty spot on. I like that.
Well, flamethrowers help a situation.
Yeah.
They direct the flame.
Instead of just dousing everything in kerosene.
Yeah, and hoping for the best. So final thoughts?
I mean, like I said, I love this movie. I've watched it so many times. And I still see, like I said, something new every time I watch it. I'm like, oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, see that.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Good.
Leave fucking dogs alone though. Just please. Please, if we can move forward, do that.
Oh, they said the dog was a good actor. His name was Jed, and John Carpenter really liked him. He said he did a good job. Like
he
the hallway.
Like a very good boy.
Yeah.
I mean, he ran in that snow like a champ.
That was a different
Jed
dog.
had the athleticism they were looking for in an actor.
That was a different dog. Jed is the one that just walked. They had to paint another dog because I guess Jed was not athletic.
Oh.
But he did not look at the camera or get distracted by sounds, so that made him a good boy.
There you go, Chad. Good boy, Chad. Yeah, no, I liked it. I thought it was much better than the original.
Yes.
Like I said, I could have just used even 5 minutes of explanation as to what they were researching, why they were there to begin with. Would have been amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand it wasn't that necessary, but I just like to know why people are there.
Yeah. Helps make the story.
I thought it was good that there were no women. I think I found that, like, I didn't really need a storyline of Liv in the first movie, so I was glad we didn't. There was way more action in this movie. I thought, like I said, really enjoyed the special effects. I like those kind of special effects. I like the special effects where the gore is just
over the top.
But also, this is going to sound weird, over the top but realistic, if that makes sense. Like that.
Yeah.
Like you could see, I mean, I think they like exploded a chicken at some point. Like the way the bones flailed and stuff. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it just felt like that. And then when he's just taking the organs out, oh, so gross. And then just the gooey, drippy stuff.
Yeah,
so
the sounds.
So good. The sounds. So gross, so good. And it's like, because you're seeing that the blood isn't like human blood. So you're getting that visual too. Because, and you can tell very, like, at first I was like, that's some crappy fake ass blood. And then I immediately realized, no, that's the point, is that the thing doesn't have the same blood. Like, I was like, oh, no, it's meant to look like that. And it was gross and it was great.
Well, you know what I've also realized from playing flag football, a friend of mine got hit in the nose with the football, and his nose was bleeding, like a major nosebleed, but it was bright. And I was freaking out because I was like, I've never seen, like, whenever I see that in the movies, I'm like, that looks super fake. But now I've actually seen blood come like straight from in the head area, and it does actually look that bright. It's
The
kind of,
head, yes. Yes,
yes,
I
it's
used to
really
get
freaky.
nosebleeds as a child.
Ooh,
Like, and I'm saying without warning as a child.
oh Lord.
Yeah. So that was always like everybody would be like, I remember like always having tissues at my desk at school. It was like a full like year of them.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. I'd keep like an extra shirt in my bag.
Yeah.
Um, and of course, just elementary school kids will never tease you about something like that. So
Are you being sarcastic?
Oh yeah, was
Yeah,
that?
I'm like that's. I'm like
Uh,
special effects. I wanted to remember the Rob Bottin was the special effects guy, and movie is considered a benchmark in special effects, and he was 22 when he did this.
wow. So he's still working.
Yeah, I would hope so. I actually didn't look him up. Let's see.
He'd be
That's
in his
pretty.
60s if he was
That's
22 and 82.
yeah. Oh, and Donald Pleasance was the original choice for Blair the Doctor. Donald Pleasance is Loomis from Halloween.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. For anyone who didn't know. What did I say?
As much as I enjoy Dr. Loomis, and I think we all know I do, I'm glad he didn't take this role.
Yeah,
I think he would have been a little too much. I'm not questioning his acting ability so much as I am even when this movie. See, maybe I'm looking at this through the iconicism of Halloween and knowing him in that role.
Yeah.
Would you have been able to see him as this kind of scientist, as this kind of doctor? And would you have been able to see him go insane like that? I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. I
But
think
I
this
don't
movie with
know
the
if I'm
cast.
just looking through it of the lens of somebody who like sees him and immediately thinks Dr. Loomis. Like at
Yeah.
that point, there hadn't been such a gap between the movies. Halloween hadn't become such a cult classic at that point.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
so yeah, so that's everything for this week. Jen, did you have any final thoughts?
Nope. I'm excited for next week.
I am excited too. As always, you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Horror In with the letter N, Heels. Horror in Heels at gmail.com for all of your emailing desires. I
Yes.
think that's everything.
Drop us a line. Say hello. Let us know you're out there.
So like we said, yeah, next week will be The Thing 2011. So if you haven't seen it yet,
Check it
get
out
on.
on HBO Max.
Yep. And we will see you soon. Bye.
Later.
I think that went well.